And welcome back to my adventures in crypto land. My name is Regina Peterbexky, and it is currently just after 11 a.m. on the 27th of August. And I'm recording this in Melbourne, Australia, where we are currently in lockdown. So today I'm just going to give you a little update on where I am with my trading, and also on I'm going to be answering some questions that have been asked on some of the other videos. So let's get to it. I'm not going to be showing any live Bitscap screenshots today. Bitscap seems to be a little bit glitchy this morning. So it's not a good time to be showing them to you. However, everything is fine. The crypto is safe. I've checked all my accounts. It's all good. It's just sometimes software does get glitchy. So let's get to it. Okay, so this is my live 2 months trading results and some of your questions answered. Remember, of course, this is not financial advice. Do your own due diligence. And of course, past performance is not indicative of any future results. This is an update. I have done 5 previous videos in this journey. So if you haven't had a chance to catch up with those, feel free to do so. The links are in the description here. So as of this morning, these are my results to date. I have invested over the last 2 months, so not all at once, but a total of $2,400 in fiat currency. And my current, as of about an hour ago, portfolio, which includes profits and an increase in coin value, is sitting at about $17,500. Now that does go up and down. A couple of days ago, it was significantly higher. By the time you watch this video, it may be a little bit lower. But overall, as of right now, that's where we sit. So basically, my return on investment over the last 2 months is over 40%. And I've got to say, I'm super happy with that, because you have to remember, I'm not a crypto expert. I'm certainly not a trader. And no, I didn't just get lucky. Okay, I've tried that before and it didn't work. I simply followed the plan with Dan Hollings and taking Dan's training, and I implement it. So let's get to your questions. So first and foremost, somebody wrote in, one thing that bothers me is that Dan doesn't seem to mind the value of the coin droppings. As you mentioned, the rent analogy, what happens in that case? Okay, so this is a really good question. And in the Bitscap platform, there are 2 columns at the moment that show your profit. So that's the little 20 cent, 30 cent, 40 cent profits that are made on the micro trade. And then there's another column which shows the value change. The value change can be red or green. The profit is always green, because we're trading, we're always making profit. What happens with that profit is it actually goes into our balance. So we have that money and it's ours to keep, spend, reinvest, do whatever you want. The value change is at any given moment, the holding of the 2 coins that you're trading, that could be going up or down. So at any given moment, that could be in the green, which means the coin values have gone up, or it might be in the red. If the coin values have gone down, in a lot of cases, but of course not in all, the profits that you've made through trading can mitigate some of that loss. So the rent analogy, which is actually not mine, I can't lay claim, but it is used, I think Wilson Matos from Rapid Crush used this analogy, is if you own a house that you've put out for rent, you don't every day ring your real estate agent and say, hey, what's the value of my house? I need to know the value of it. As long as the tenants are paying the rent, it's all good. And when you decide you wish to sell the house, that's when you ring the real estate agent and say, hey, I'd like to know the value of my house. And at that point, you may make a loss or you may make a gain when you sell your house. But in the meantime, as long as that tenant keeps paying the rent, That's all that matters. And that's how we treat these trading bots, is as long as the bots are trading within the range that we've set, they're spitting out profits minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day. And we don't really need to worry so much about the value of the coins as long as they keep wiggling. So I hope that answers that question. Okay, question number 2. I'm unclear as to why you have 4 bots. Shouldn't you be able to have 1 bot and use that going forward? That's a really good question. And let me see if I can answer this for you. If all you have is $3,000, which is the minimum that Dan recommends for investing in a bot, then yes, have 1 bot. However, the strategy is always to diversify. So the more bots you have, the more different coin pairs you have. And so you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. And some bots will do better than others. I have some that are performing at 0.5% a day. I've got one at the moment that's doing almost 2% a day. But I don't throw all of my money into one. I have 4, and they are all different strategies at the moment. Some of them I'm actually reinvesting the profits. I've put in a new strategy in the last couple of weeks where I'm, when the bot is in profit and it's spat out a certain amount of money, let's say $500 in profit, I actually close it out and restart again and reinvest that profit. So I'm compounding. So some of my bots that I started with $3,000 now have $4,500 in them. And my plan moving forward is once I get them up to $6,000, then I will split into 2 $3,000 bots. So we do want to have a variety of different coin pairs because, you know, the market is volatile and we don't want to have all of our eggs in one basket. I hope that answers that question. Dan says it's better to have 5 $3,000 bots than 3 $5,000 bots for that reason. Of course, if you have a lot more money than I do, you can have $10,000 bots, $20,000 bots, $50,000 bots. However, the idea is you have as many of them as you can afford to have and choose to invest in. The BitsGap platform will allow up to 15 bots. There is no maximum on the value of each bot. Okay, question number 3. Is there any chance this strategy could become saturated with other planned traders in the future, which could dilute returns? Great question. Okay, that's a really good question. Let me see if I can answer that one. The crypto market is pretty large. And even though there may be, you know, hundreds, if not thousands of traders following this process, there's a couple of things that will stop it from being saturated. And I use that term very loosely, in that at any given time, people are buying and selling. There's thousands and thousands of traders out there that are not following this process. And even if everybody in the plan followed this process, we all use different coin pairs. So me and my friend who are doing this, we at any given time will have different coin pairs. And the other thing is when you start your bots, the trade pair, the trades put on the exchanges come out at different values. So even if we have 2 people starting the same coin pair, even if it's 5 minutes apart, our values are going to be different on when we're buying and selling our coin pairs because that's just the way it works. So it's highly unlikely that we could become market makers in this particular, using this particular strategy. However, this is actually really good because the more people that are in there trading, the more that we're supporting generally the crypto space. So it's a good thing to have more people trading. So the answer generally to that question is this going to be saturated? The answer is no, the more the merrier. Question number 4, what platform are you guys using if you are in the US? And then same question was asked again by somebody from Australia. So here we go. So the platform we use for monitoring and setting the bots out is called BitsGap. And there is a link below this video that you can check out the program. However, BitsGap itself is not an exchange and it does not execute the trades. It just sends signals to the exchanges. So wherever you are in the world, you can use an exchange that is relevant to you. So for example, I'm in Australia. I'm connected personally to 3 exchanges. I use KuCoin, Binance, and Kraken. I'm also linked to, but I'm not currently trading on that. So I'm trading actively on 2 exchanges. However, Bitscap itself has, I think, between 20 and 30 different exchanges that they have an API to. So wherever you are in the world, you can actually go into Bitscap and check the API as to what particular exchange may be relevant to you, and then it's completely up to you which one you choose. Dan and his team at The Plan have actually put together a little cheat sheet of the pros and cons of different exchanges in different countries. So if you're in the US, it may be pertinent for you to use a different exchange to the one that I would use in Australia. But there are plenty exchanges for you to choose from wherever you are in the world. Question number 5, what is the hidden information related to? And question number 6, why are you closing some bots if the strategy is for medium to long-term investment? Do you use the money made from those bots to reinvest it again with the strategy in the plan? Okay, both great questions. If you've seen any of my other videos, you'll notice that I do mask some of the information when I go into the Bitscap platform. So that's for the main reason, because as a student of the plan, myself and everybody who joins does sign an NDA that we are not allowed to disclose any of the strategies. And so what I mask are the coin pair choices that I make based on my research, and also the actual settings of the bots, because that is the secret sauce that Dan teaches in the training. So that's what is masked. The other question was in relation to closing out bots. So this is really different depending on what your particular strategy is. Some people never close out a bot. Some coins are volatile for a short period of time and then they stop being volatile. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to catch that volatility. So I have closed out bots for a couple of different reasons. I've closed out bots when they've stopped wiggling. So for example, a bot that was wiggling at about 0.5% a day stops being volatile and starts wiggling at 0.3% a day. I might close it out to find another pair that's wiggling more. I have closed out, as I was saying earlier, in answer to one of the other questions, I have closed out bots that are continuing to wiggle when I've made some significant profit and I wish to reinvest that. So I will close out the bot, not sell the coins, keep the coins and reinvest the profit. So I have done that. And the third time I've closed out bots is when it's out of range and the coin value has come down. So it's not wiggling and then the coin value has come down and it's been out of range for a little while and I'm just sick of seeing that red. And so yes, sometimes you do realize a loss in selling the coin pairs in doing that, and that's just the nature of the beast. So I think Dan says that if you win about 65% of the time, we will take losses. This is crypto, it is volatile. Not every bot is a winner. And so those are the main reasons they would close out the bots. So again, so you close them out because they're not wiggling, closing them out to take profits and reinvest, or closing them out to move on to something more profitable. Okay, question number 7. I also want to know what percentage of wins versus losses are and the stop loss of each trade. Like what is the percentage at risk of amount? So if you have 3,000 in one fund, the trade will sell at a loss if it goes down to what percentage? This is quite a complicated question, and I'm going to see if I can figure out how best to answer it. So first and foremost, this is not a fund. Okay, the monies that are sitting on the exchanges, I own and I control. Okay, so that's the most important thing to know. So each bot allocates a minimum of $3,000. However, each trade is a subset of that $3,000. So I'm not trading $3,000 each time I buy and sell the coin. That's the whole idea of good trading, is we're taking a small percentage of that $3,000 on each trade. It may be only at $30. It may be $50. It may be $100, depending on how we set the grid up. But it's still a percentage. So at any given time, each trade is a small percentage. And so I think the concern of that particular person that was asking me that question is, do we have stop losses? And what happens if the value of the coin goes down, and do we lose everything? And look, like everything in life, there's no guarantees, and there is a chance that we could lose everything. However, with this strategy, because we're buying and selling only a little bit of the coin at a time, your chances of losing everything are reasonably low. And I think the most that I've lost on a bot that I've actually chosen to close out when it was in the red was about 15 to 20%, which, that hurts. But in the grand scheme of things, because my other bots were making profits, I, didn't mind taking that, and I was able to take that loss and put it into a more profitable bot. For example, a couple of days ago, I actually closed out a bot. I was about $50 down on that particular bot after a couple of days, and I thought, I'll see what I can do. So I closed it out and started a different coin pair, and in the following 12 hours, I made $90. So it swings and roundabouts. I hope that answers that question. Okay, so I think this is a follow-on the previous questions. And let's say I bought a pair that's trading Bitcoin at 60K like it was, and then it goes off the grid and it's now in the 45K range. I realize I won't lose any money unless I sell, but I can be off the grid for months or years. Don't you see a problem with that? And does this strategy get you back into a grid at another new low? So my example, would it go back in at 45,000, or is that treated as a new investment, and would you require a new cash injection of, say, $3,000? Okay, great question. I'll see if I can answer it. Okay, so that question is actually a really good question, because what it does is it's talking about having the value of the underlying assets. And in that particular case, the questioner was asking about the value of Bitcoin. So if you're using Bitcoin as the right-hand pair that you're trading and the value of it goes up and down, you could be losing the value, and the bot would be out of range. That is a fact, and it can happen. So yes, you can do one of two things. You can hold on, and if your belief is that Bitcoin will go up, and then the bot will come back into range. So you just wait and do nothing, the same as you would if you were just hodling your coin. The second part of the question was, would you regrid? And the answer is yes. You can either close your bot and regrid, or Bitscap has recently, in the last fortnight, introduced a new trailing down feature where it will regrid for you automatically. In order for it to regrid, you do need to invest more money into the bot. So if you have a coin pair that you are confident about, that you think has long-term value, then it may be worthwhile considering that. For example, I have a coin pair where both coins, I believe long-term, are going to do really well. And the other day it was trading below the grid, and I turned on the trailing down feature and I put in an extra $200. And it didn't take long for it actually to come back up. So I could have just waited a couple of hours and it would have come back into range. But in that case, I made that choice to put in an extra couple of $100 to get it going again. But yes, that is the nature of the beast that we're dealing with. A lot of the trades that we're dealing with, we don't use Bitcoin as the underlying coin. We do use stable coins. So that particular question would be a little bit more moot in that case. Hope that answers it. Okay, I think that sort of covered off most of the questions that have been asked over the last few weeks that I've been doing these videos. If you have any more, please do ask them below, and I'll do my best to answer them in the comments, and then I might make another video if necessary. And of course, you can always find me on Facebook Messenger. That's the easiest, fastest way to connect with me personally if you have more questions. There is a new beta opening of the plan. It is coming in about a fortnight as I record this. So if you're watching this video at the time that I record, it's currently closed, not open for students. However, there will be a new opening in mid-September. There is a link to join the waitlist to make sure you're the first to find out about it. And you please do subscribe to this channel for future updates, and let's all wiggle our way to wealth. I'll see you next time. Thanks again for joining me. Please do subscribe to this channel.